دبي تعطيك أمان.
وظل القيادة الرشيدة اللي فيها، اللي هي حببت الناس والعالم كله في هالبلد. فأنا بالفعل فخور بنفسي وفخور بهالدولة الطيبة.
لبناني، أنا شخصياً ابن مصر.
قيام على البلد ليل مع نهار، تركيزه، ما كنا وصلنا للي وصلنا.
أنا والله عمري 5 سنين وأنا تحت البوش، وهذا يعني اللي ما له ماضي الله يرحم أبوي زايد ما له حاضر.
فاليوم الكل عايش سواء موافد أو مواطن، نحمد الله سبحانه وتعالى أن نحن في أمان وفي استقرار وفي أحلى، يعني وين ما تروح تلقى أنك أنت بين أخوانك وبين أهلك وبين ربعك وبين عشيرتك وبين الجميع.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب. تاريخ لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. وام الشيوخ اللي الله رعاها ربت قروم للوطنهم سند لا تذكر الفزعات إلا طراها مداتها بالعطايا هي تسد. وام الشيوخ اللي الله رعاها ربت قروم للوطنهم سند ولا تذكر الفزعات إلا طراها مداتها بالعطايا هي تسد. وابو خالد الذي أمن ذراها تحت رايته العز ومن وهب. وابو خالد الذي أمن ذراها ابو خالد تحت رايته العز ومن وهب. لا تقرب
Welcome everyone in our program Bellas of Union with the most successful story in UAE. Today from Dubai City with also a new successful story with Dr. Yuzi. Hello Dr. Yuzi.
Thank you very much.
From the first Dr. Yuzi, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Garbe. I'm the founder of Pidds 3D Living. Pidds 3D Living is a concept that look at logic and at natural alignment. It is a non-manipulative, non-invasive approach to get our bodily functions right and our spine straight.
How to start in this career?
I started my career in the Netherlands and I studied at the Faculty of Social Science in Utrecht And it was the time just after the 60s that we had the laissez-faire period, be a non-authoritative parent, and everything is cool and everything is like all meant to be. So in that time we had a lot of people with determination that finally were recognized as human beings like us, and that was a great breakthrough, because with the people of determination I started to rehabilitate like people born with Down syndrome. They were able to get their driver's license, have a normal life, has a job, and so we took the stigma away from you have a determination, so you're not part of the society. And from there I kept developing many hats. Like I worked with Rudolf Steiner, I worked with Montessori in the medical daycare centers for children who were not like developing like it should be according to book, but who were intelligent very obviously, but then somehow it wouldn't come out. And it's there that I started to put the connection between mental health, between our educational intelligence, and between our physical intelligence. Now, a physical body well aligned can do almost everything. We are miraculous creatures. We are designed, or created better to say, to keep self-sufficient, and create anything what we need ourselves in our body, only on one condition: we need to be well connected, and straightforward. Now, in the old time they say good connected people are powerful, and it had nothing to do with your name or where you come from, but it had all to do with your bodily abilities. If you were a strong person, the mother-in-law to be would say, wow, this is the guy for my daughter, because he has a spine. If you're spineless, you're useless. So in that way I developed, and then in 2005 something happened to me, which I now say, thank you God for giving it to me. It was an enormous blow back to my daily life. I had a brain bleed, and I found myself from getting up in the morning, getting a shower, doing my regular thing, and bop, ending up on intensive care with a brain bleed, and hearing my husband talking to the doctor, it's up to God. We do everything we can. And my daughter, only 8 years old, mommy, please don't die. And I have adopted my daughter. So it was for me something happening in me when I heard mommy don't die. I was thinking, but I realized I couldn't communicate, because you're not conscious. But I had one strong motivation, and that was I was brought up as a Roman Catholic, and my mother said, all you need to do is ask God. And of course I couldn't go quickly to a church and pray, but I could speak to God directly. And it is what I did. I did a simple question: please God, help me, and please don't let my daughter go to the ordeal of losing a mother for the second time. And after that, I forever trust in God, and I forever speak directly. And if I want something, then I know you will be there. And of course you promise everything. You promise, I do everything and whatever needed, but please bring me back. And that happened. I remained in the hospital for about 3 weeks in intensive care, and then for about 1.5 months, so altogether 2 months I was in the hospital, and then I had 8 months time of recovery. Now in that time, it's amazing how when you believe I'm a positive person, I thought something good must be coming out of this, and of course indeed it did. I had many friends, my friends in Germany. He asked me, Jose, how are you doing? Now I still felt stiff in my arm, and I couldn't, function the way I am normally. You see, I'm very lively, and I am always in action, and tiredness is a word that is not in my vocabulary. You keep going. So I got introduced to via Dr. Norbert Kramer. He is a homeopath and a natural practitioner in Germany, and he introduced me to Dieter Dorn. And Dieter Dorn was a furniture maker with big efficiency and an inventor. And he sort of recovered in himself that he was a healer. Yeah, and he did something with my spine. He made me do some exercises, and he, as his name was Dieter Dorn, he established the Dorn method, and I felt so much lighter, so much better. And it was like somebody, you know, you have the Duracell rabbit, and when the battery is out, he goes, yeah, and it is very stiff, but he's not broken. There's just no connection to electricity. So I felt like somebody putting a battery in my neck, and I started to function again. And so I said to Dieter Dorn, well, this is great. Can I learn this? And he says, you know it already. And I found it the most strangest answer in the world. But I said, you know, I still want to learn this. So he organized courses in Germany, and inshallah, his soul rest in peace. He is not here anymore, but he managed to get me. I managed to get on courses organized by Dieter Dorn, and I did 2 courses, and then I went back from Germany to Dubai. I was allowed to fly again, and so when I came back, I was thinking, I want to do something with this. And as it's by coincidence, if you believe in coincidence or know that your book is written, and in the right time, at the right attention, your book opens and you can read what you need to do. Now, that moment I had on the Jumeirah Beach Club in Jumeirah, and all of a sudden I was going for a swim, and then I walked back and I saw Sheikh Mohammed sitting on the beach. And he was sitting there with part of his family and some people around him. So, and still, you know, I always believe in the opportunity is always right. So I felt from deep inside of my heart, I need to talk to Sheikh Mohammed. So I quickly got decent, and then I said, please, Sheikh Mohammed, can I have a word with you? And he said, yeah, okay. What do you have to tell me? Yeah, and so I started to tell about my background and how we could help obesity, and how we could help people to get back on their feet simply by alignment, yeah, and by the 3-dimensional, the second D diet and the third D determination, yeah, your purpose in life, and to find how you can do things. So, and I told him the whole story, and then he says, show me. Yeah, this is very interested. So, and then, of course, you know, the assistants, they took the details, and the next day I had somebody collecting what I wanted to show, and from that day on, things went in a flow. Yeah, that was resulting in me getting into Manchester Clinic, and not because they gave it to me, it's because Dr. Mitri, the owner of the Manchester Clinic, he's a urologist, and he was very famous with circumcising newborn babies in Dubai. And he said, may I ask you a question? What did you tell Sheikh Mohammed? And then you see the coincidence, a urologist with a clinic, yeah, who asked me, what did you tell Sheikh Mohammed? So I told him the story, and he said, I would be honored to have you in my clinic. And he then took me up in the clinic, and for 7 years I worked with Dr. Mitri in the Manchester Clinic in Jumeirah. And then Dr. Mitri reached an age that he wanted to retire, so he closed his clinic, and with closing the clinic we needed to go somewhere else. And because I do members from all sorts of families in Dubai Healthcare City, somebody told me, okay, the president of Dubai Healthcare City, and invited me then to come and have a clinic here. And again, I did everything by myself. I went there, I looked at the clinic, I made all the contracts, I paid for all the contracts, and here I am in Dubai Healthcare City, 7 years now.
7 years here?
7 years here, and from the moment I started working, yeah, like about 4 months, I started to work 6 days a week, 10 people a day, and that never stopped. Yeah, my agenda miraculously fills up every time. And the nice thing is, all the babies that I did 14 years ago are now strong youngsters and something, hey, Jose, I see you. Yeah, and you know, they have a heavy voice. They're 2 meters, yeah, they're like much bigger than the rest in the family. And I see them in the shopping mall, and they're still coming here. I get telephone calls from America or from Canada. They're studying, and please call my mom to make an appointment because I'm coming over. Yeah, because they feel good. You know, if you're switched on, your brain works properly. Yeah, you have so much more to energy. Yeah, and and the babies I did 14 years ago, they are now 14, and then the children I did 14 years ago are now 28. Yeah, and they come with their babies and they say, remember me? And I always recognize eyes that said, yeah, I see your eyes, I know I've touched you before, but I don't know your name, and that is something, I never know people's names, which is good, I can't talk about them, yeah? But they bring their babies, so I do know the grandmothers, the mothers, the daughters and the granddaughters, or respectively sons and grandsons. And it's amazing, my clientele is naturally expanding. Yeah, and when I say something, I'm now 64 years old, you know, and I really feel sometimes, when do I go on pension? But then they say, oh, please don't leave, you know, we need you here. Yeah, so, well, as long as I'm fit, and as long as I can walk, and as long as I can still feel the happiness in my heart that keeps me going in the clinic, I will come and help.
When you decide to start your own private project or business, and how you start?
How I started is what I said before. I had a brain bleed, yeah, and that made me need it, yeah, and it made me to take action personally with my own body, and being successful in that, being successfully aligned, it triggered in me, I need to learn this, yeah, and when I started to learn this, I started to, of course, help other people, yeah, it's a natural thing to do, and being able to work in a clinic in Dubai, and you know, the incredible opportunity, as we have over 200 nationalities, you know, in no time I had most people of the world there, yeah, and they of course have families, so the family flies in, and then the friends of the family, they can't of course stay with the family, they booked a hotel to come and see me, and in that way Dubai Healthcare City, now after being 7 years in the Manchester clinic, I moved to Dubai Healthcare City, and from there I started to become real international, you know, with the big hotels surrounding us and people staying in the hotels and invitations all over the world. I established into the person I am now, and I have successfully started up in Paris, I started up in Toronto, I started up in New York, I started up in Kenya, and we are in Brisbane and London, Germany, Holland, yeah, and they all, you know, notice the same as what I do. They say, Josie, my agenda is just full, because, you know, if you do something that take the suffering away of person, who, of course, our medical system is great, yeah, but it's not always logical, yeah, because the industrial revolution with the technology was a great help, of course, to treating people, to examining people. But as technology, what I always say, technologic, yeah? It's the sequence of somebody's brain that is developed, and then you get sequence and system keepers who start to go on with this development.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I am happy with technology, because I can see my family, you know, in 7 hours flight I'm in Holland, and we are so lucky to be in the middle of the Middle East, yeah, because from all direction it's about 7 hours to the countries that I want to see. So, you know, it's a great place to be. And if you bring something new, then you are successful. Because, and you know what I most of all appreciate here is that there is still this old generation very much there. Like in Holland, it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s that we went to this revolution from having no television, and then we saw the first fridge, the first washing machine, and so many things happened. I was born in 57, so, but now you treat the people who says, I know, we didn't have, and we cooked every day fresh, and when we had our dates in the morning, we go to the fisherman, and we buy the fish. And we eat fish and rice, and we don't eat every day different. But then again, the cow eats grass every day, and the camel eats what he finds in the desert. So, do we need to do so many different things? When we eat food that nurture us, that come out of our direct environment, and what is organic and fresh, it's the greatest thing to eat. And then in the evening, having a soup, and for me, I learned so much over this saying grandmothers, and although I always tried to talk Arabic, when I came to Dubai in the morning, I said, Sabah al-Khir, kayfa halik, shukran, and then they said, English, because, in that time, a majority of the people who would come, were either not Arabic, or they would speak very much English in a very perfect way because they're sent abroad, educational system is high, the local people are very well educated. So, and of course they like to then show that they are educated. So, and we like to then, of course, when I lived in China, they say, 你好，我叫苏静，我去了香港人，现在我是杜拜人。So I learned Mandarin Chinese because if you try to speak to the people, which is very important with what I do, to get in touch, to crawl under their skin, you need to make a connection. So you need to speak Chinese because the Chinese people are lovely people, but they won't be the first one who loses his face. And of course, when I speak Arabic, I try to sing a song for the children. Sasi san, Shu Halloween. Little chicken picks the grain and it's so keen. But I don't know the Arabic words. I just remember the first sentence. But the children love it, and then of course I make a little bit of fool out of myself because I know even Sasi San is not the right set. But this is how I remember it. And the Chinese are the same. And I remember one time that the UAE or Dubai invited thousands of Chinese from a cosmetic company. And I was standing in Emirates Towers and with all these Chinese around me, and it said, Hua Yin Ni Man, Dubai Lai, welcome to Dubai. Oh, and so they were so happy, that you speak their language, and then they spoke all English. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Now, and then I started, to come back at your question, I'm a terrible talker, but I come back. I remember what you asked, and I developed naturally, and I started to. In that time, we were still allowed to go into the Novotel, and do courses for people, and I trained many people, and I get grandmothers coming to me in tears with their daughter and their baby, saying, Josie, I knew my mother, she would take care of me as a baby, because, and her mother, because they still knew what to do. They were intuitively natural, intelligent, and now I don't know what to do. So some of them I took to my courses, and I helped them, and they were so happy, and they're still doing their family, and because what you learn what I do. And of course a little bit different, but in principle, if you speak the wish to learn what I do, you already go and activate an instinct we have in our body, like the cat knows how to give birth, the horse knows how to give birth. They don't need to go to an encyclopedia and say, how was it again? How did my mother give birth? So it's something you learn in the 2 days course that I do, or never in 100 years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a little bit over exaggerated. Yeah, but it's true. The seed you plant in yourself, yeah, is like an ancient seed reawakening. If you have a bushfire, you know, when the forest is on fire, the ancient seeds that normally don't develop anymore, they pop up and they grow the ancient trees again. Yeah,
Wow.
that only happens after, you know, a natural disaster, or nature is amazing.
Yeah.
They have all their files and, you know, their recipes to create the ancient thing again, and it always starts again. And that is also with life. Yeah, it always goes on.
Yes. Now, Doctor, I want to ask you about the difficulty you face up in the beginning, and how to affect this.
Now, in the beginning, the difficulty you face is you have people who had like 20 physiotherapy, or, you know, because there's really something wrong and they can't find it. You know, they come from neurologists, they come from psychiatrists, they come from like infertility treatments. Yeah, they had IVFs, and they're still not pregnant. So then, of course, word of mouth is my biggest advertisement. Yeah, I solely have my clients from word of mouth. And now, of course, with the website, but then I still speak to the people. Yeah, so, and when they come to me, they are astonished often, because what I do, I put you in front of the mirror, yeah, and then I show you your differences. One eye is slightly higher, yeah. When you wear sunglasses, more likely they're always a bit squiff, you know, not straight. When the people breathe, they breathe, yeah, from the surface, from the diaphragm, yeah, but they are twisted. So when you're older, they sometimes say, my daughter says I walk like a penguin, yeah. Now, and this is true, because if your hip goes out of position, the sacrum is our holy bone, then our spine starts curving, yeah. Now, but not only start curving, there is a twist, yeah, because we try to compensate. So now we have usually L3, L4, L5 as one, the lumbar vertebrae not out, and of course on the top it happens again. Your head goes a little bit like that,
Yeah.
and then your neck goes a little bit like that, and
Yes.
then your atlas, your axis, and C6 and 7, the thyroid function, you know, and under the skull, the hypothalamus function, they have a big influence in your metabolism. Yeah, like if you sit behind the computer all the time and you lock up, yeah, then your hypothalamus most likely, that is the one who tells you eat or don't eat.
Yeah.
And Prader-Willi syndrome, if it is from eat, you can become this big, yeah, and they hide your car keys and they hide your money, and then you find them in suit eating on the back of a restaurant because they have a sick urgency to eat, yeah. And if you are in a certain position in a slot that stops the hypothalamus from giving the right message in you need to eat, it will tell you had enough, and that can then result in anorexia.
Yes.
Yeah, feeling I don't need to, and you get this phantomic image of yourself and say, look, I'm fat here, and we basically see a dressed up skeleton. Yeah, because they are so skinny that it is very dangerous. Now, and that also explains a little bit now with the situation that we were home workers and children not going to school.
Yes.
Yeah, is that the hypothalamus for some children resulted in getting quickly, you know, really fat or obese, and other children, they stopped eating. Yeah, and again, that is not psychological, it's logical. And we can't blame the parents, you're a bad mom, you have fat children. How can you say that? Yeah, because it's only one in the family, not all of them. The rest is differently. It depends on how your spine is aligned and how you are switched on in your body. Yeah, and saying this, like I said, how difficult it is. Yeah, I had so many people coming, and they say, "But you're not in the insurance." And then I called the insurance companies. Yeah, and I said, "Look, you know, you awarded this person with so many treatments, or they did the operation, yeah, but the gravity position is not addressed. So they still have the same pain. The surgeon did a perfect job, yeah, but the twist is still in the body. So again, you get the same pain as before, yeah, and then certain insurance companies now start paying, but that always takes me first to come, and then my treatments, you don't need 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, yeah. You see me and we do 2 treatments in 2 days. Yeah. Then you see me in 1 month again, and then you see me in 3 months, and like you bring your car to the garage, yeah, you invest in yourself to every 6 months align yourself. So getting the insurance companies on board was the most difficult, yeah, because they don't know what I'm doing. It's alternative medicine, yeah, and we are official CAM therapists. I'm an official clinic, so basically, you know, all the ingredients are there. We don't pay tax, yeah, so it means that we are medical. Yeah. But the insurance company, as they don't know me, need the introduction, and that's what I do personally. Yes. I call them up and explain them that often various treatments, you know, sometimes very expensive, sometimes the physiotherapy 10, 20 times, and what we do, we offer 5 treatments, yeah, 2 consecutive, yeah, so the first day and then the second day, then in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And then you're about a year. Yeah. So the moment that has been finished, we advise our clients, like you bring your car in the garage, please, you know, your car you can buy. Yeah. We are one time only, yeah? Yeah. Respect your body, honor your body, yeah? You go for a dinner somewhere and you spend a lot of money, but somehow, because we have insurances, we are sort of, you know, brainwashed that you don't pay for yourself. Yes. Well, nothing is less true, yeah? Because if you don't pay for yourself, you pay with your health, and health is very expensive because you can't buy it. Yeah, so, and then now more and more insurances are paying, and when they're not, I'm telling them which insurances are paying, and then they say, okay, we start paying. Yeah, so we have more and more people who get it insured. But you know, the not knowing what I am was the most difficult.
Now from your side, Dr. Yuzi, send motivation message for the young people we want to enter the business world.
Okay, what is very important is knowing your purpose. Yeah, and your purpose is you, yeah, yourself, and knowing what is your quality, yeah, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Try to find the balance between them, and most of all, don't fear, yeah. Fear turns out to failure, yeah, but faith is flourishing, yeah, and is bringing you further on. And also, if you have a setback, we have setbacks, of course, but if you tell yourself, look, I'm not perfect, yeah, and if I have a setback, yeah, then it is maybe, yeah, God brings me on a higher level, yeah, He kicks me out of my convenience, yeah, to be more active in something that can be actually more important for a better society, yeah, and then talk from your heart, yeah, if you have the heart to do it, they say, you can do it. You can do anything what you love. Yeah, children can be sometimes not good at school. Yeah, and the parents are worried, and I say, don't worry. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He's intelligent, but he has his passion. The moment he picks up his passion, yeah, he will start his own business and flourish. Yeah, so and be resilient. Yeah, don't give up easily. Yeah, they don't waiting for you. There's thousands of you. If you have an idea, simultaneously, hundreds of people have an idea, yeah? But believe in yourself and do it, yeah? And be positive.
Now also from your side, send thankful message for our leaders and Sheikh here in UAE.
I really would hereby give my greatest respect for the leaders of the UAE, yeah? When I was 15 years old, I noticed there is a UAE, there is a new group in the desert that become very important. All our big boats and cars and luxury goods went to the Middle East. And instead of sitting there and enjoying the luxury, actually they turned out to be the most hard-working politician, natural leaders of the world. Because what I have seen from the moment I entered the UAE in the beginning of 2003, now at present, at the World Exhibition, it's incredible. And it is passion, it is resilience, it is getting things right. And the amazing thing is also that we still see the old. We still have the older generation who have their knowledge, who have their logic, and who have their input, and who flow the whole community over to the high technology, which is on the highest level, and the most amazing construction technology and what you can find in the world, you see in the UAE. So I feel really thrilled to be a part of this. And then not only successful, high people, intelligence, and full of passion, religion, morals are high. I feel that the balance between old and new, is amazing. And being in the heart of the world, change the world, start from the, well, we are doing it.
Thank you, Dr. Yuzi. I am so happy to meet you today. Thank you everyone for seeing this episode from our program Palace of Union with the most successful story. See you next week with also a new successful story. Goodbye.
دبي تعطيك امان.
وظل القيادة الرشيدة اللي فيها، اللي هي حببت الناس والعالم كله في هالبلد. فأنا بالفعل فخور بنفسي وبفخور بهالدولة الطيبة.
لبناني. أنا شخصيا ابن مصر.
قيام على البلد ليل مع نهار، تركيزه، ما كنا وصلنا للي وصلنا.
أنا والله من عمري 5 سنين وأنا تحت البوش، وهذا يعني اللي ما له ماضي الله يرحم أبوي زايد ما له حاضر.
فاليوم الكل عايش سواء موافد أو مواطن، نحمد الله سبحانه وتعالى أن نحن في أمان وفي استقرار وفي أحلى، يعني وين ما تروح تلقى أنك أنت بين أخوانك وبين أهلك وبين ربعك وبين عشيرتك وبين الجنة.
إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوثن وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوثن وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى